All right, so we are going to be the three athletes with single names. I'm John. This is Keahi.
Hey, what's up?
Moona. Keahi and Moona are two athletes that definitely deserve to be known by just their first names because they're so wickedly awesome in the surf. And they have just changed sponsors. They've joined F1 within, I guess it was the last 2 months, 3 months?
Last couple months.
Since June.
And you've had a chance to try out some of the surfboards. So I'm going to go to the other side of the camera, and I'm going to let you two interview each other and walk me through the lineup of the gear that you've actually tried so far.
Sounds good. So yeah, F1's got a pretty big range of boards, multiple different shapes, multiple sizes in each shapes. For me, with more of the wave stuff that I do, my go-to is the Shadow and the Me Too Pro. I ride some of the bigger sizes. The Me Too Pro, I'm riding in the 5'8". I think it's about 24 liters, but a lot of the time I'm riding in a little bit lighter wind. I like a little more volume, and the carbon is really nice because it just gives you a little bit more liveliness. It's a pretty good all-round board that fits well in smaller waves, but it kind of likes that medium to good waves as well, and that's kind of been my go-to for a lot of conditions. The Shadow is also a really fun board, a little bit more targeted towards the bigger waves. I ride the 5'8" in that as well, just because I like a little more volume, but it's been really fun to try a lot of the new range and test them out, and we did a really fun trip to Fiji this year, which was fun to put a few boards through their paces and get some real waves again.
Should we show some of the boards? So This is the Shadow that he was talking about. It's definitely there. It's focused for bigger waves, but you can use it in any sizes. This is what we were using in Fiji. We have some videos from that. And that's supposed to be for bigger wave boards, but I also really like the Me Too Pro Carbon. And just this construction is super nice. It's like really lightweight. It feels really good and live, even though it's carbon, which is known to be like a bit stiffer. It still feels really good. It's like so easy to turn in the waves. And I used it in really small waves, and it was great. And he used it in big waves in Fiji, and it also worked. So yeah, it was awesome. And then there's different constructions of the Me Too Pro. So that's the carbon, and then this is the Flex.
Yeah.
This one here. I'm going to pull it out. And then there's also bamboo. And then we have the Slice here, which comes in, you can just ride it for waves, or you can also put a foil on it. So yeah, very versatile.
A lot of different options.
Many options, many different sizes, and yeah, they're a lot of fun.
So how did the two of you end up on F1?
How did we end up on it?
I guess it was, kind of a little bit of a tricky time with a lot of the brands post-COVID. Was just kind of seeing what else was out there. I'd been doing some testing, and for me, what I really liked about F1 was some of their foil stuff, so that kind of got me started there. Started talking to the guys and kind of just went from there, and it's been great so far. Met a lot of the crew this trip as well, and it's been really good to kind of work with them. They've got some really good gear already, but they're also willing to work on stuff, so it's going to be fun going forward and working together with those guys on kite stuff and boards and foils, and excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, the F1 team has been super nice, so it's been a very easy transition, and I've met them before in the past, and everyone's super cool, and we tried out all the gear and really liked everything, the foils, the wings, and I love the kites, so everyone's asking us like, oh, how's the gear, and we love it.
The owner of F1, Rafael Sal's known as being like a really avid wave guy. Do you think he was looking to have like two of the best people in the world to ride waves with him?
I think he was definitely stoked to have us join in, and we're happy that they like focusing on wave stuff too. Like, that's what we love to do. So it's epic being with this crew. They're very passionate about what they do, and
And even just seeing how active he still is. We haven't got to kite with him yet, but did a couple downwind runs with him on the foil yesterday, and for 60 years old, he's still out there all day doing downwind laps on the foil, and it's nice to see, especially when the owner of the brand is still so involved and doing the testing, riding out there with you, and seems just as stoked as he probably was 20 years ago when he started doing it all.
Yeah. Maybe we should take a quick peek at some of the foily stuff that you guys like to ride.
For sure. Let's do it.
So
maybe the skate and the eagle right here. So I'd say these are the two main setups that I spend my time between. You've got the skate right here, and then the eagle.
Oh, this one's not actually open.
Oh, this one's still.
Should you open it?
So the whole foil range comes in a ton of sizes. The skate is a little bit more versatile, a little bit lower aspect ratio, so kind of more carvy, still very efficient just with their whole system and the way that it goes together. But this is kind of your more turny one, good for more powerful waves. And then the eagle has been something that I've really liked. It's a little bit more efficient, 9.5 aspect ratio. Still quite surfy, but the glide that you get out of it is amazing. Both of them come in a lot of sizes. The skate, I think, goes from 550 to 1050 every 100 square centimeters, and the eagle goes from 690 all the way up to 1290 in 100 square centimeter increments. In terms of downwinding, which is something that I've been getting into a lot, and the winging as well, the eagle's incredibly fun just because it's got a lot more glide. You can see the difference. It's a little bit narrower through the middle, and really, really fun. And then they've got tons of options in terms of masts. In these high modulus masts, they've got 80, 85, 95, and 105 masts. And what's really nice is this 14 mil one is super thin, so it's very fast and efficient, and still very, very stiff for a thin mast with a narrow cord. So been
How do you
really.
decide what size to mast to ride?
My general go-to is 85. I think it's kind of the best all-round, where it still turns pretty well. It's not too long that you get too much delay. It's better for leaning it over a lot, but it still gets up pretty easily, pumps well. If I'm downwinding, I'll ride the 80 a little bit more, just because the shorter masts are a little bit more efficient and a little bit easier to pump up, because you can kind of rock it back and forth a little bit easier. But 85 is kind of my one size for all if I'm just going to take one mast on a trip.
How about you, Moona?
Yeah, so I've been actually really liking the 650 skate back at home in Hawaii. It's pretty perfect. I actually use it winging mostly. And yeah, it's good in like many different sizes of waves and different conditions. And then here I've been using the eagle more for downwinding. Yeah, they're both epic foils, and yeah, so fun.
So what was it like winning 2 events at one event?
Yeah, so that was in Cabo Verde. Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't talk about that one.
Oh, I guess it predates that one.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Well, you know,
the
it's
last
still
one
pretty
was
exciting.
You
Yeah,
can talk
it was-
about Brazil too.
Yeah, it was pretty epic doing the tour, and yeah, winning in Cabo Verde, and then the last event was in Rio, which we were lucky to get some good conditions there. It was backside for me kiting, which was different, but I had some good training before that trip in Fiji. So yeah, it was really nice there, and then it's fun to do both disciplines at the event. Yeah, really busy the whole time, but make use of all the conditions and all the days.
What's it like training-wise, trying to balance pretty much two different sports, but they're kind of the same?
Yeah, I mean, I do both all the time anyway at home, and yeah, just depending on, like on the last event in Rio, I knew I was going to be going left, so I really wanted to work on my kiting, because I mostly go right in Hawaii, and so I pretty much focused on that, and then, yeah, I think I'm more comfortable, like the next event is going to be in Dakla, and it'll be on a right, so I think it'll be super fun to wing there, so yeah, whatever I'm feeling like I need a little more work on, then I'll practice that. But yeah, everything is for fun. I'm never like training. Everything's just having fun on the water. So.
And you two, back up a bit to the other
No worries.
Well, you were both just in Fiji on a photo shoot trip. How long was the trip, and what were the conditions like?
I think we did almost two weeks there in the end, extended a little bit just because once you're there, it's such an amazing place. If you kite, foil, surf, wing, you can't go wrong. So yeah, main thing was going over there and shooting the new board, so shooting the Shadow and a little bit of the Me Too Pro, but tons of foiling and winging as well. And it's just one of those places that if you're willing to do everything, or yeah, whether it's surfing, kiting, or winging, you just can't have a bad time there.
So this is a question for both of you. How has taking up the sport of foiling and winging changed the way that you approach kiting?
I don't know how much it's changed the way I approach kiting, but I think the biggest thing for me is it just keeps the stoke alive, and summertime in Hawaii is a very small time of year for waves, and it just keeps you out there. Some of the lines are similar in terms of being able to crank big, hard carves on a wave that's not breaking, and I think it just keeps you fit, keeps you out there. Sometimes it does take a little bit to adjust going between sports, just in terms of your foot positioning and body positioning, but more time on the water is always a good thing, and just reading waves and being out there I think really helps.
Yeah, it opens up more days. You can do something every day now with winging and kiting. And on the smaller days kiting, we can just go for a wing and have just as much fun.
We have something for you at registration. Silva Hernandez.
Trying to think of a
Please
good
come to
question.
registration. Lost and found item with your name on it. Silva
Actually, which wing are you guys
If
riding?
anybody else finds anything out that needs a lost and found, please bring it up to
I
registration.
haven't had too much time to test them. Right now, my favorite is the Strike. I think it's just a little bit more versatile for everything. It's super efficient, handles gusty conditions well. I'd say it goes upwind a little bit better, and it's still a great wing for wave riding. I think the swing on a wave is a little bit more balanced and kind of floats a little bit better, but overall I like the Strike. I think they're both great wings, and you're going to have fun no matter what, but that's been my go-to for now.
Yeah, same. I've just been using the Strike so far, and definitely excited to try out everything in the range that they have, but so far I'm really liking that one, so yeah.
Super cool. Well, congratulations on sticking on the same team.
Yeah.
Together. Thanks for doing the interview.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.